emulation. It's a pretty hot topic in the gaming industry nowadays, and I can kind of see both sides of it, but at the end of the day, I'll never agree with the big corporations. I think emulation, especially for, older titles, is, should be totally justified. I get it. They don't want piracy. They don't want people to steal these games. And, I'm sure you've seen a lot of people's opinions of, well, a lot of these games are very hard to come by. So I wanted to make this video just to kind of talk about, my opinions on it. I also, I can't do a tutorial because of, some of the implications behind this. But what I did want to do was at least, kind of show you what you can do, how easy it is. This is more specifically kind of in tune to what you can do mobilely, let's put it that way. And as you watch the video, you'll probably, get a better idea of what I mean by that. So yeah, let's get right into it.
Medz plays these games for days and days and days. Streaming reviews, what's the take? Some I love it, some I hate. But at the end of the day, there's only one way to say so. Medz plays these games for days and days and days.
So yeah, like I said, this video is going to be mostly about, I wanted to focus on mobile emulation and other things that you can do with it, where, the main thing you're going to need is just your phone, Obviously, I'm running a Samsung, but you can also do this, for the most part, with iPhone. I know they're a little weird with side-loading stuff and emulators. They do have an emulator on the store that you can use. I'm not 100% sure exactly what systems it can run because, again, I don't have an iPhone, but I know that you can. Unfortunately, again, I'm not really sure what it takes to sideload different emulator apps. For Android phones, it's super easy. You can just go to a website and, it's like, are you sure this is a risky, blah, blah, blah. So as long as you know what you're doing, you can sideload apps pretty easily. I also wanted to talk a little bit about, my own personal opinion about emulation for anybody that really gives a shit. So I'll do that now, and then we'll switch cameras so I can kind of give you a more hands-on approach on what you can actually do with your phone. So yeah, I don't know, my opinion on emulation is, again, I really only use it for older games. For things like, if I really want to play, I don't know, my PS5 mobilely, they have remote play. That's available. You're not doing anything controversial with it. People emulate on PC all the time. As you know, certain companies are trying to get that shut down. They're constantly, attacking people that make these emulators. Now, doing something like a Switch emulator, I can kind of see where Nintendo's coming from. People leaked Tears of the Kingdom early. It ran at 60 FPS, but, they leaked that shit early. And I get it from, a company perspective that is, stealing money from them. And, they're a multi-billion-dollar company. Do I really care? Not really. But I understand their argument. They have a legal case for something along those lines. But for stuff like, I don't know, the NES, the SNES, sure, they've put their stuff behind a paywall for Switch Online, whatever. It would be one thing if they would just had a virtual console like they did up till the Wii U, and I could just purchase which games I want, but it's like, no, I gotta subscribe to your service to get games, and not even all of them are on there. That's the problem, is there's a lot that's not on there. But then you look at PS1. I'm sorry, but the PS Plus, premium tiers, a lot of those games are a joke. It was cool they added Dino Crisis on there, but that's the coolest game that I've probably seen them add. The Resident Evil Director's Cut, we already have the remake available for PS4 that you can play on your PS5 that's better in every single way. So it's why not the original trilogy? It just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. It's the one area where I give Xbox their flowers, is their backwards compatibility is great. Not a lot of people need to really emulate Xbox or 360 games. Most of them are playable on Series X. But Nintendo is obviously the worst one. They remade Thousand Year Door. Cool. Like, I was about to emulate that game, and then they did, then I heard it was going to be remastered, and I went out and bought it. Like, I'll definitely play, you know, the newer version of the game. I will, you know, do everything, you know, legally, you know, because I don't sit here and like pirate games. Like, any games that I emulate, I own. But you know, it's one of these things where I see the corporate side of it, but also fuck the corporate side of it in a way, you know, because all of our games are digital, whether you have a disc or not anyway. It's kind of like that saying, if buying isn't owning, then pirating isn't stealing, or whatever the fuck that is, you know. It's kind of like, I kind of agree with that sentiment in a sense, because, you know, we don't own our games anymore anyway. The games that I have emulated, I probably own more solidly than I do any game that I have for my PS5, Switch, etc. They can revoke that license at any time. So that boils down my opinion of it. Is I do think that emulation, you know, is great. Especially, I mean, there's also the argument, sorry to go off on another tangent, but like people that, I don't know, maybe just can't afford games sometimes, like, but you have a phone that can do special things. I mean, phones, it's really hard for them to be able to emulate a PS5. That's not going to happen yet. But I mean, my phone right now can emulate comfortably, you know, up to PS2, GameCube games, and then obviously for like, you know, your PS4 or PS5 games, you can do remote play, which is very good, by the way. I'm going to get into that in this video, but, you know, so I mean, I don't know. Anyway, that's kind of my opinion. I will go on a tangent for like 10 minutes, and I'm not trying to have this be a super long video. But let's get into like some of the stuff that over the past few years I've discovered you can do using just your phone. Now, mind you, I don't have the most current Samsung phone right now. My Samsung phone is almost 3 years old. So I plan on getting the S25 Ultra when it comes out. Maybe I'll do an update video and see what that can handle. Maybe I can run even higher grade games. I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to show you what we can do on this phone. Again, that's 3 years old at this point. So I mean, you know, the iPhone 15 Pro can handle games extremely well. The 16 and 16 Pro series can handle games great. I mean, they're coming out with, you know, games on their store like Assassin's Creed Mirage, Resident Evil 4, stuff like that. So I'm interested in that. If games are just actually coming to mobile because they're that powerful, like AAA games, sure, they're probably watered down, but it's not like a Super Nintendo versus Game Boy Advanced or, you know, whatever, like watered down port necessarily. So that part of it is interesting, and that's part of it that this video will not be about, because I don't really know much about that at this point. Like I said, I don't own an iPhone, so. But anyway, let's cut to the other camera, and I'm going to show you some stuff that we can do with this little fella right here. Okay, so as you can see, this is the Backbone 1 PlayStation Edition, USB-C. Obviously, they make different ones for like Lightning, you know, just the first gen, second gen. This is the second gen. Sorry if you can see my other camera in the screen. This is a very awkward way to film this, but this is, you know, the main hub for Backbone. It comes with its own app. You can go through, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. They have different, you know, games that you can play. This is like the main hub here. So, you know, I do have kids, so please excuse some of these games. We got Among Us. Let's go. But as you can see, Dolphin Emulator is actually right on here. A lot of my other emulators are not. But yeah, you know, sometimes, you know, if you like to fuck some people up on Uno online. Anyway, the main thing we're going to be worried about is emulation. I'm also going to be showing you some of the remote play stuff, just to show you how, like, good it's become, you know, over the years through, you know, updates and stuff, because it used to not be so good. But right now, it's actually pretty phenomenal. So yeah, let's jump into some of the emulator stuff real quick. Alright, so for sake of just, you know, trying to stay out of as much trouble as I can, I just hopped into the PS1 emulator that I have. As you can see, I downloaded a couple of games. Yes, I have Disney's Tarzan. That is a super nostalgic game for me. As you can see over here, it has no stars, so it's not a very good port of this game. But I did just download it to play it, just to get a little bit of nostalgia. But yeah, so we have a couple of games. So the one game that I have been playing a lot of was the original Silent Hill. Ever since the Silent Hill 2 remake came out, I wanted to get into the original, and so I got it through emulation. Now I have no other way to play this. You know, they have that HD collection, but maybe I'm wrong, please. I didn't do like any research before filming this, but I'm pretty sure that's only on like PS3 and stuff, right? So it's not super easily accessible right now. So anyway, we can just tap on this over here. I have a state here. All right, so we're in the game. Now this is a terrible game to have shown you because it's super duper dark. But as you can see, I am playing Silent Hill 1. This was a next fear run that I started, so I'm still in the school. But yeah, as you can see, everything works. Everything here. I do have the volume off on my phone right now, so you probably won't be able to hear a whole lot, but like as you can see, look, I got the gun out, pressing X, boom, I'm holding the right trigger back here to do this. And so, yeah, so I mean, it works. Let's check out another emulator. Alright, so now we're on to the PS2 games. You can see I have 50 Cent Bulletproof, fucking classic. Def Jam Fight for New York, one of my favorite games. Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. That was another nostalgia game, but you can see 1 star. It's terrible. I cannot play it. It's just the ROM of it. It's god-awful. So I wouldn't recommend that unless they come out with a better one. The original Max Payne, the Scarface game, Silent Hill 2, Sopranos, Road to Respect, you know we had to have that one, Maron. Tony Hawk's Underground, Tony Hawk's Underground 2. So I had a different emulator originally. I was gonna boot up Vice City Stories, but I don't think I have a save file on this because it is tied to the emulator. So when I switched, I don't think I have a save file on there. So instead, what we're gonna do is we're gonna jump into Tony Hawk's Underground. Looks like I have a load state there, but my screen is cut off. There we go. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so I actually ran into an issue, but I think this is actually good for this video. If you notice, nothing's working. I can't do this. So what I found out was I got a new backbone, the second gen. Oh, it's playing a demo. I was like, what the hell just happened? And of course, I can't even get out of it. So what you have to do is you have to go into the settings menu for this. You have to actually go to this little controller icon over here. Controller port 1. You have to actually bind everything. So if you notice, see, so I have to do D-pad up, D-pad right, D-pad down, left. I don't know if I actually hit left. There we go, etc. Triangle, circle. I'll speed this up for you. Okay. So then you do want to go into settings because I'm going to be showing you another way to play these games on here. So you do want to hit save profile. I have to create a whole new one. And hit create, load up that. So now, if you notice I hit X, it worked. Sorry, the way I have to hold my camera is awkward. So if I go kind of off frame, I'm sorry. But yeah, so now we can hit free skate. Sure, we'll just, you know what? Will be Medz. Medz! He looks like a tool. It's because of how the end of the game goes. You automatically get put in that shirt and shit. So then we'll just go to Classic New Jersey. And there we go. We're in. Look at that. Using my stick to control. Whoops, sorry. Hold on. How do you get off? Oh, yeah. And you can also use the D-pad if you want. See? But I like to use the sticks a lot because the buttons are... Oh, my God. Sorry, this is very hard to play while also holding this. I can't even grind. There we go. But yeah, I mean, it's super responsive. There's literally no lag whatsoever. So, but yeah, so you can see it works. You can play through full games and everything on your phone. You can, so if you notice I have my little camera cut out, there are options to make this just a 16:9, a 4:3 native. You can have it not show your camera cut out. There's widescreen hacks. Like, there's a ton of options in general, system, so much stuff. Graphics is the first one that I do. As you notice, it's a 2x native upscaler, so it's actually running at 1080p. See, I did stretch to fill the screen, and there's a reason why I did that, and that's going to come later on in the video. Enable widescreen patches, so that you definitely want that if you're going to be playing it in anything but 4x3. There's a ton of different settings you want to mess around with. They'll tell you if you shouldn't enable them, really, like in a lot of them, so it's pretty easy to use. It's not as complicated as it looks. It's really not. The frame rate cycles, that's something we'll get into on another part of the video. But yeah, there's you can show the FPS. There's so much stuff you can do here. But anyway, on to the next emulator. All right, and here we have the final emulator that I wanted to show off. This is, I mean, there's no point in hiding it. It's the Dolphin emulator for mobile, and I am playing Twilight Princess. Now, I haven't done too much, obviously, as you can see. I just started this up to kind of show you what you can do. So I do want to show you one thing. So if you notice, it looks like the widescreen hacks. Notice how that went to 4x3? That's kind of what I was getting at. Some games, even with the widescreen patches, see that? Look at all that artifact, like all that weird shit happening to the side. Look at, see that in like the water and whatnot? To the left side of the screen here. So some games will not portray things that are like outside of the usual 4x3 borders. They won't show it correctly. So that is something that, you know, some games will support, some games won't. This game obviously does not work too well with it, so I usually will just set it in 4x3, unfortunately. At that point, it's like up to you. Like, would you rather just play maybe the Wii U HD version that is in widescreen, or can you deal with that weird shit that's going on the sides of your screen? Now, I haven't ever left this village, so I don't know how it works out in other dungeons, if it really ruins the experience or not. That is something I can get back to with maybe a review of this version of it, if you will. But yeah, I just wanted to show you, like, it does run it super smoothly, though. Like, if this was in 4x3, you wouldn't notice anything, like, weird whatsoever. Everything's in the proper place, nothing looks stretched, like, everything just works. Obviously, getting used to, like, I'm pressing X for A, you can map your buttons to whatever you want. I try to keep it like a normal kind of modern control scheme, so, like, it might get a little weird. Like, I'm pretty sure triangle's Y, circle is X, circle's probably B, actually. I don't have anything to press B in because I'm still so new to the game. But anyway, it works. That was the point that I wanted to make. It does work. And it works really well, other than this weird shit that's going on. But yeah, if you're comfortable playing it in 4x3, you'll have no issues whatsoever. So, well, that's it. There's another part of this that I want to show you guys. So we're going to head over there, and I'm going to show you exactly what we got. All right. So another cool thing that I really wanted to show you guys was something that you figure I would like find this out sooner, but it took me a long time to realize that this is even a thing. So this right here, USB-C cable to HDMI. This is plugged into the back of my TV right now. And as you can see, it is on an HDMI right now. So I'm going to plug this in, and I'm going to show you exactly what happens. Alright, so let's see if I can plug this in here. This is an odd viewing angle. Oh, there we go, first try. Alright, so you can see connected to external display. And then we'll grab my controller here. So you do have to pair a Bluetooth controller to your phone, which is super easy on a PlayStation controller. You just hold the PlayStation button and the share button until the blue lights start blinking, and then just select it from your Bluetooth menu on your phone. But anyway, we look up. Sorry, I have to get a good angle for this. My apologies. But here we go. Now, the touchpad brings up a little mouse. See, as you notice, it's not working again. So what we have to do is, on mine, I have to drag it and bring up this menu again. Go into here. Now I should already have a profile loaded. Wow, they never used to show that screen. Oh, no, we've only got the backbone. So my apologies. Give me 1 second. I guess I have to bind my Bluetooth controller. So it's basically just doing the exact same thing that you did earlier for the backbone, where you just have to tap this, D-pad up, blah, 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 and etc. So I will come back once I've mapped this. I won't make you sit through that again. Alright, so I got that all set up, and as you can see, I'm about to enter this fight right here. I'll try to keep my controller in frame. This is going to be extremely hard to play. But I just wanted to show you that this is on my TV. And we're playing Def Jam Fight for New York. Classic PS2 game. And again, I don't have the sound on for obvious reasons. A lot of licensed music in these games. So, alright. This is going to be extremely hard to play. Oh god, he got the first hit already. But as you can see, I mean, like, I am... Oh, shit. I am playing. There's, like, literally no lag. It's kind of hard to tell. Oh, that was a little bit of a frame rate slowdown, though. Did you see that? That was odd. So, I mean, obviously that type of shit can happen from time to time. And again, I also have a 3-year-old phone. And, I mean, I beat this game. Never ran into any frame rate issues. It could be because of the HDMI to C cable. I'm not going to lie. I did get a super cheap one because I didn't know if it was going to work. Sorry, I'm getting too into the game now. I'm not even talking. But yeah, like, look, like, it's for the most part is good. Like, so I just really wanted to show you guys that. That's it for, you know, emulation stuff. Like I said, I got this, you know, HDMI to USB-C cable for like $6 on Amazon. I just wanted to see if it would work. So now not only do we have a portable emulation, you know, just retro gaming machine using just your phone. And this backbone, by the way, is $99. They go on sale for 30% off all the time. So you're looking at like $70. So think about it. You spend $70 on this. It fits like basically every phone with almost all cases. This is the 2nd gen. You got to get the 2nd gen, whether you're an iPhone user that still has Lightning, or you're a newer iPhone user that uses USB-C, or an Android user. You need to get the 2nd gen so it'll fit your case. I had the 1st gen and it was so annoying taking off my case all the time. That version might be a little bit cheaper, so if you don't care, go for that. Because other than that, it's essentially the same controller. But yeah, like, you can play so many fucking games, like, through emulation on your phone using just this. This is obviously, like I said, the, whoops, it would have helped if I did it the right way, PlayStation version. They have just a regular black version that has your traditional, like, A, B, Y, X buttons. Because it was made more for, like, Xbox, like, Gamepass type stuff. But then again... they decided to make a PlayStation edition. So again, this, with your phone, can play tons of games. And I haven't even gotten into the remote play part of it yet, which I will in a minute. But you have that, and then, like I said, I spent $6 on this HDMI cable. You could probably get a better quality one, and maybe it won't have, you know, issues whatsoever. We just saw a little bit of frame dip here. So that could be with my connection. It was a cheap cable to test this shit out. But if you get a better quality one, maybe that won't happen. But it does work. I'm sure they have a Lightning one as well. I didn't look, so you'll have to do some research into that. But now I'm playing these games on my screen with no lag. The Bluetooth controller has no lag to it. So, like, I don't know. I thought that was amazing. Like, I kind of already knew about, like, these game controllers for this, but when I really started getting into the emulation side of it, it was like, holy shit, like, I wanted to play Def Jam Fight for New York for, well, I'm not even kidding, like, I don't remember when that game came out, what, 2005-ish? And, like, I played it over and over and over again as a kid, but, like, I haven't had access to this for years. I think I still own a copy. I think it might have been for the original Xbox, but I just don't have the console anymore. So, I figured this shit out, and I got to replay this game. You don't understand the nostalgic feelings I have for this game playing it all the way through. So, like, this is amazing to me. It's amazing. So that's why I wanted to make this video, to show you guys like what I've figured out. And again, all it's doing is casting your screen. So all those games and emulators that I showed you on the backbone side of it, it works. There's no lag. It just works. So you've got this, like, you know, my phone is a 512 gigabyte model. Like, how many, you know, game files could I put on there? I could have like, a huge library of games on here. Obviously, it is limited to the extent that, like, yeah, I can't sit here and play Xbox 360 and PS3 games, because they don't really have like a remote play feature. And the remote play, which I'm going to get into in a second, does require internet, but your phone has mobile service. If you have a 5G phone, it works everywhere. I've tested it out. I wish I had an opportunity to show you like super far, but I will show you Wi-Fi and then 5G service. So let's get into that part of it. All right, so this is the remote play app. You can use this on iPhone, Android, whatever. I already have my PS5 linked to it. Now, my PS5 is in rest mode right now, okay? It's not on, it's in rest mode. If I hit this PS5 button right here, it searches. Now, right now I am on Wi-Fi. You'll notice that. All right. So it's connecting and turning on my PS5. I just heard it kick on in the living room. So it takes a second when it's been in rest mode. If it's not in rest mode, it like connects immediately, especially if you're on the same Wi-Fi network, which I am. So let's wait for this. Boom. I am now on my PS5. No lag, just works. Right now I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, so let's just jump into this. Now, you have to excuse me recording this from a phone, so the, you know, obviously the image quality isn't going to be reflective, but when I tell you though, like what I'm looking at in real life is literally the same thing I'd be seeing on my TV. Like the colors aren't washed out like this, obviously. But yeah, look, like I'm playing this game. Notice when I press up, she moves. Like when I hit left, the camera moves. Like it just works. Now you are stuck in 16:9. No matter what, it will not stretch or anything, but I mean, Jesus, dude, I'm playing my PS5 on my phone. Now, granted, oh, we saw a little bit of frame dip there. It'll happen every once in a blue moon. But for them, like, it used to happen all the time. Like, it's gotten a million times better. I do recommend having your PS5 plugged in via Ethernet. It does need a strong internet connection to your PS5. The actual internet connection on your phone, as long as it's not horrendous, it's going to be pretty stable. I was at someone's house before that had terrible internet speeds, and it got super pixelated. Like right now, like my phone is in full 1080p, 60 frames per second, playing this. So it looks fantastic. It runs fantastic. On their internet, it was super pixelated. It really had a hard time playing it. So I mean, your internet speed, it just can't be god awful. If you just have okay Wi-Fi, and especially if your PS5 is plugged in via Ethernet, it's going to be great. But even if it's not, a lot of people don't plug theirs in via Ethernet. It still works really well. Like I don't want to dissuade you. Like definitely try it out, but it's going to be, you know, based on each person's experience. But there's one more thing that I wanted to show you regarding remote play. So just give me 1 second. I gotta like kind of shut off my PS5. I want to restart it so I can show you guys how this works as well. So hold on. All right. So just for you guys, for this video, I took a little drive. I am at an empty like parking lot in my car. As you can see, I'm not connected to my Wi-Fi. It's 5G. You got to excuse the the brightness of this thing. I keep trying to focus in on the screen. There we go. It's a little bit better. But yeah, as you can see, 5G. And I'm not at home, so let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to do this through the camera. I put my PS5 back into rest mode. Now this takes some time, and it doesn't always work the first time when it's in rest mode. Sometimes you have to do it twice because it like connects to turn it on and then like disconnects. But as you can see, it's searching for connections via the internet because it couldn't find my PS5 on the home network. So this is going to take a while. I'll probably just speed it up for you guys, so just give it a second. All right. Sorry about that. So I actually had to cut it off because what I realized, it kept saying there was an error. The reason why there was an error, though, was because I had my phone on Do Not Disturb. I guess that could affect it. I'm not really sure. Or maybe it just took me a couple of tries. You know, that is a thing. It doesn't always work the first time, like I said. But right now, so like if I scroll down, look at 5G. I'm not on the Wi-Fi. And this game is working just as good as it did inside. Now, granted, I have full service here. If you have like 2-3 bars, maybe it won't end up working like this. But I mean, look at it. No lag. I'm pressing the button. She's doing the action. You know, it's fucking working. So, yeah. Again, I'm outside. 5G. And it's just working. So, you can literally play this anywhere that you have a good cell phone connection. I'm assuming as long as it's 5G. If you still have a 4G phone, I would assume that it's not going to work that well. And even with 5G, like I said, it took me a minute to get connected. So it's not like the most convenient in the world. But if you wanted to play your PS5 and you're on the go, I mean, you can do it this way. Now, I have tried it on car trips. I do think because, like, your phone has to bounce around between towers, that could affect it somewhat. So, like, again, I am in a stationary location, but even still, say you're at, like, work or something. Like, I know for me personally, the Wi-Fi we have at work kind of sucks. So I've, like, been on my break at work and just took it, you know, had it on my service and played it, you know? Like, I have unlimited data, so what the fuck, right? You can take a little bit of, like, frame dips. You'll definitely see more frame dips over cell than you will on Wi-Fi, but you can play it. It fucking works. And it looks just as good as it did on Wi-Fi right now. Like, maybe, like, a little bit more pixelated, like, almost like a 720p compared to 1080p, but still not bad. You can actually go into, like, specific games. Like, for instance, when I played a little bit of Silent Hill 2 Remake on here, that game's dark as fuck, and, like, your phone screen is different than your TV screen, so, like, you might have to go into settings and adjust, like, the brightness and stuff to your phone while you're playing on it. That is a thing. But yeah, I don't know. This is all the stuff that I wanted to show you. Like, how much you can do with just your phone. Like, it's incredible how much you can really do with your phone. And again, 3-year-old phone. Like, I do plan on getting the S25 Ultra, like I said, when it comes out. I'm very curious to see what that can do, because this phone doesn't even work with, like, HDR. So, like, I know some of the newer phones actually have HDR, like, capabilities and different things like that. So, I'm really interested in that. But we're gonna bring it back to my couch for a little wrap-up. That's pretty much it. Like, I've been loving what I've discovered over the past couple of years, just trying to, you know, like, do things that I think might work. Some things didn't work. Like, for instance, like, I tried to run a Switch emulator. It didn't work. You know, you got to figure out how powerful your phone really is, and what you can really do with it. But, I mean, like, you saw, like, on my PS1 emulator, I don't have that many games on it yet, but, like, I mean, you can find every single game, for the most part, that's out there. Like, your phone is now just do-it-all, like, retro gaming machine and a modern gaming machine, though, as you saw. Like, your phone is, like, I don't know, is like the ultimate Switch, the ultimate Steam Deck. I mean, granted, you can do a lot of this emulation stuff on a Steam Deck, so maybe not, but look at how compact this is. You put this in this, and, like, you're good to go. Now, granted, I, you know, have 2 different phones. Like, I'm recording on one of them, and I have another one. So, I mean, I can, you know, still get notifications for things while I'm playing. You know, some people who only have one phone, that might be annoying. You know, I could definitely see that. If you, like, get a text and, you know, you got to swipe out of your game that you're playing, answer that, go back, like, blah, blah. It can definitely be annoying. Is it the most convenient in the world? Like, maybe not. I think it's super convenient, though. Like, even if I didn't have this other phone that I could use, I mean, I also have a watch that I can, you know, answer texts on or do whatever I have to do. So, I mean, get a smartwatch. I don't know, like, you know, if it's that inconvenient. But I don't know. I think it's just crazy that we can, you know, use this and play all of these games, including your PS5 games, you know. I mean, you also have Gamepass. I mean, Xbox's whole new campaign is everything is an Xbox, right? I don't own an Xbox anymore. I used to own a Series X. It collected dust for 6 months. I sold it. So, but now I can play Xbox on this if I want. There's a Game Pass app, you know. You can play everything. I mean, obviously that's streaming, so, like, your mileage may vary on that one, but I mean, I don't know. For the most part, this shit's just, like, really cool to me. Like, I'm super passionate about this, and I hope you could tell that I was super passionate about this. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but I had to get all the key components. I'm not very good at structuring videos, even though I said in my update it'd be more structure into what I'm doing. There is, but how I do it, not so much. This has all been unscripted. I've just been going. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. I really wanted to show people that you can do this, because it's pretty cool to me. So, I don't know, hopefully my emulators don't get taken down. There's no lawsuits against me. You know the deal. Share it. I don't care. I mean, like, subscribe, cool. Share this video specifically. I would love to get out there, and, like, just so more people can see what you can do. But yeah, I don't know. Until next time, you know, kiss my fucking ass.
Medz plays these games for days and days and days. Medz plays these games for days and days and days.